This is Jason.
And this is Renee. You are listening to The Good Samaritan, where we get to shed some light on the positives.
If you know a Good Samaritan, let us know. Give us a call at 865-242-4267. That number again, 865-242-4267.
This is Renee and
Jason.
When we're with The Good Samaritan, and we have Ashley Claiborne with the Campbell County Christian Learning Center.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It is an absolute honor and pleasure to have you here with us. Of course, we've named you a Good Samaritan of Campbell County for all the amazing work. Wasn't even aware until we talked to you previously just how much you all are doing for the county. Would you like to just kind of give us a brief rundown of what all is involved with the Christian Learning Center right now?
Absolutely. So I just started as the executive director on January the 1st of this year, and we have a teacher and program director, Stephanie Lloyd, and Billy Smith is also serving as our teacher this semester. This semester we're down to 7 students, but we have been regularly having 25 and 17 students in each of our classes, and we even had 2 classes one semester. So we're looking forward to February 7th when we have our gala. We're hoping that that will bring in funds so that we can actually run 2 classes at least at our high school so that we can have more students. The issue we think that we're having is that we have students who need to take the honors or AP classes and they're offered at the same time. So we're going to work on scheduling a little bit and hopefully open up another class so that more students can take our class. But we're really thankful for the 7 that we have this semester.
That is really awesome. One thing I noticed you was talking there, a very organized, very structured plan that you're working with, trying to work with the AP classes and the schedules of the students. This isn't just like a church Sunday school Bible study. This is an actual academic curriculum that you're offering these children, correct?
That is correct. We have a curriculum that they follow, and it's been approved, I guess would be the word you would want to use, by the local school board. They can't look too in-depth in it because we are a religious organization. So to be legal, we have to keep those 2 things very separate. But they do get to decide whether or not we receive credit. And the way they do that is they look and see if this course was taken at another school or a Christian school or a private school, would we give the students credit whenever they transferred into Campbell County High School. So that's the level that they choose to look at our curriculum. It is a rigorous course. Our students are tested usually about weekly on the material that they've learned. We have an end of semester test to see how far they've progressed. So it is rigorous. It's not just a pass-fail. It's an A, B, C, D, F grade scale. They actually got several papers. They have in-class programs that they do. Stephanie Lloyd is so creative at making sure that our students are having fun while they learn. Their favorite thing that they did last semester was called Reader's Theater. So they've read before they come to class the passage that they're supposed to read, and hopefully they understand it, and then she reads it and they actually act out what they've read to show that they understand what's happening in the story. And so that's their favorite thing to do as far as a fun thing. But then we have the more rigorous testing too.
That sounds really fun. Yeah, for sure.
It is amazing. Following up with that, we did get a little ahead of ourselves. I want to clarify what the Christian Learning Center is primarily doing. What you're referring to here is actually offering these Bible courses to Campbell County High School students. It is a structured, accredited class in this school for the students to take part of. And along with that, you mentioned how this is judged alongside other courses in other schools. As I recall, last time we spoke of this, you said that this goes up to college-level courses that you all are offering these students.
Yes. So they start out in Firm Foundations, which is Genesis to Christ, and then the second class is Christ to Revelation. In their upper level course, it's actually the same course that is offered at one of the Bible colleges, and it is the Worldview course, and it's split into 2 semesters as well. And they come in and take it, and we talk about creation versus evolution. What's God's view on marriage? What is God's view on the time that life begins? So we're really excited about this course, and what makes it so different from the Bible course that can be taught actually in the school system is that we don't teach the Bible as history, we teach the Bible as truth. That's what makes us so different.
That's very admirable to see that going into a secular school, offering that very firm stance and firm foundation for these children, especially in the Bible Belt where that is such a huge part of the culture anyway, to allow them to have a firm basis in biblical studies. Renee, what have you got to add?
Well, I know that, like you said, you've got the gala that's coming up, to help raise funds. And I know that you guys really do depend on the funds, the help with the community for that to keep these classes going. What all have you done that, that's helped with that?
So our gala is our annual fundraiser that does our biggest funding. We usually raise around $30,000, and we're hoping to double that this year so that we can pay for more classes. And you can become a monthly donor by going to our website, which is campbellcountyclc.org, or a one-time donor at the website, either one. But our gala is our biggest fundraiser right now. We have some more things kind of in the works this coming year that we hope will raise a few more funds, raise community awareness, because we don't want to just be about raising money, and we don't want to just be about the class. That is our primary focus, is Release Time Bible education, but we really want to be good stewards in our community.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so following up on that then, I know you've mentioned that the Christian Learning Center is actually involved with several local churches and different events going on there. Could you give us some examples of those types of things?
Sure. In April, probably one of the biggest things we do, or March, depending on when Easter falls, is we're going to go and be with Stanfield Church of God at their egg hunt. So we don't want to take away from what other people are doing. We just want to go out and be with them. And if there are other churches that have things going on, I absolutely want to know about those. They can call me anytime, or text or email, however's best for them, and I'll be happy to show up. And we have an advisor council, which is a group of volunteers, and we met the first Monday in January and had 15. We welcome anybody that wants to be on that board, and those ladies will travel with me throughout the year, and we'll just kind of become besties this year, I guess, as we go to different churches and community organizations. And it's not just limited to churches. If there is a secular organization, so like the bank or WLAF or anybody else that can go into the schools or any place, then we can also do that. So the doors are open to us when a secular organization can go. So we're ready to be a part of our schools and anything else going on in the community.
That's amazing. And again, I've already mentioned, but it's very impressive to see the very thoughtful way you all have approached the work you're doing, that this isn't just something that was slapped together. You all have really thought through how to most effectively reach out to the community. And again, that's why we have you here as a Good Samaritan, because you all are working very efficiently and powerfully to make a difference. On that note, though, Kara, tell us some more about you and some of the other members of the CLC, so we can put some faces and names together.
Sure. So the CLC was actually envisioned by Karen and Dwayne Mills, who are no longer in Campbell County, but they were at First Baptist Church of La Follette. And they were the ones that had the vision to have the Campbell County Christian Learning Center and to bring Release Time Bible education to Campbell County. And we're so thankful that they did. They got the ball rolling with Dennis Powers, that most of our community knows. They've worked with Senator Yeager to get the legislation on the books in 2015. We also have Shannon Cox, who is from Cox Construction. He is the president of our board. His wife, Amanda, also serves on the board. They have 2 children. One just graduated from Campbell County High School, and the other is in, I think, middle school. I'm really sorry, Nate, if you're older than that. We also have Faye Heatherly, who is the well-known board member here in Campbell County. She served on the board for a long time and has just finished her role as president of the Tennessee State School Board Association. And we are thankful for her. Her daughter Sherry also serves on the board. Sherry's dad actually started Hillcrest Baptist Church, and that is where we have our class now. They actually donate the space to us to have our class. Lynn Ray, the pastor of Hillcrest, who also owns doesn't own State Farm, but is an agent for State Farm, right beside of Shannon Cox Construction's office, is also on our board. Lisa Fields, who is another school board member who has a child who just graduated from Campbell County High School and another child who just started Campbell County High School, is on our board. Amanda Brown is a nurse practitioner in Harrogate, and she serves on our board and is a member of First Baptist Church of La Follette. I'm going to be in trouble because I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Oh my goodness, Derek Bowman from Derek's Pond is on the board. His wife, Andy, is one of our most active volunteers and is the reason really that we thought to have an advisor board. We have Terry Bray, who is the Child Ministry Ambassador from the Elgin Foundation, and he is a special advisor to our board. Let me think. I don't think I'm missing anybody, but if I am, I'm really sorry to our board if I've missed one of you, but I'm trying to count as I go. I think I got them all. So we're well represented from several churches, from several different businesses. We've got mamas and retirees and grandparents and aunts and people who are really committed to Campbell County and committed to our schools and committed to our students. And I guess I was supposed to tell you about me, right? I've been on the board for 2 years. I started in 2018, sorry. I feel like we're still in 2019. I started on the board in 2018 and was an attorney at that time. And around October, I decided that I was ready to leave the practice of law, wasn't enjoying what I was doing. And around that time is the same time that the Christian Learning Center decided that they needed a director. So everything just kind of fell into place. God has a way of doing things like that for us.
Absolutely.
Amen. Amen. So it's amazing the level of skill and prowess that has come together to make the CLC happen. It's that I had no idea the type of people that were coming together to make this work possible. And I think that's very important for people to understand, that you all have come together with not only a very powerful vision for the community, but the skill to implement it. But of course, resources are always a major factor. We've discussed somewhat with the gala coming up. In what other ways can Campbell County help you all do what you're doing?
Our students love to eat. So anybody that wants to donate Kool-Aid or water or snacks or anything like that, we can always use those. Anyone that would like to donate Bibles to us, we can always use those. We provide Bibles to our students, and they actually leave them there in the room. But if there's a student who doesn't have a Bible, we absolutely want them to have one at home.
Okay.
We had students who came as foreign exchange students, and we were able to get them a Bible in their own language, which really
Wow.
helped them.
That's
Yes.
impressive.
That was
Very.
amazing. We've actually reached 2 closed countries through foreign exchange students. We had a student this past semester who gave his heart to Christ. So we're thankful for that. And I know I got a little off topic, but I always wanted to share that. That's the most
Yes.
important thing
Oh,
about what
that
we do,
is.
is that we are sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's always
Amen.
first and foremost. But they can give on our website. Again, that's campbellcountyclc.org. You can do a one-time or a monthly donation. You can also stop by Cox Construction office. I have a little space in there. Come see me anytime. I'll be happy to write you a receipt, talk to you about the Christian Learning Center, or tell you how you can volunteer. And we always covet the prayers of everyone in Campbell County, in Tennessee, everywhere. We always appreciate those because we know that that's what really gets us going.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Renee?
Well, I was just going to ask her about volunteers, but she's just covered, so they can go and visit you and learn about how they can do that.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to see them anytime. We try to keep Facebook and the website updated with what's going on and how we need you, but I'm always up for a face-to-face. I just met with the Christian Women Connection on Wednesday, which was a wonderful experience, and I'm hoping to tap into some of those ladies. They were pretty excited about us. We're a member of the Campbell County Chamber, so I'll be there on the Chamber Coffee Thursdays if anybody wants to meet up then. But that's my job. My job is to love on people and talk to people and let them know about the Christian Learning Center. So I always want to hear from you.
Okay.
Fantastic. One other thing I notice in my old age is that I think less and less of my high school days as I go on. We get busy, we just start forgetting things. I forget a lot of things. Again, I'm old. But I think it's very important that we take a minute here to really appreciate for those people that are listening that maybe they also were forgetting what it's like back when they were in high school. That, I'm thinking for myself how amazing it would have been to have had the CLC and what you all are doing, to have got those firm foundations in the Bible, to see that being an active part of my academic experience, to be able to go out into the world armed with that knowledge instead of having to just kind of pick it up on my own later on in life. Renee, Ashley, I'm wondering, what your thoughts are on that as well. Just how amazing that would have been to have had that back then, and why it is so important that students have that now.
Absolutely. I went to ETSU when I graduated in 2010 from Campbell County High School. I went with several of my best friends, and we're still best friends today, and I had that unique support system when I went. I had a strong family back home that was ready to support and answer questions, but not everybody has that. And I remember, even with all of my support, sitting in my sociology class going, how in the world am I supposed to answer the questions they're throwing at me? And the advanced worldview class, I think, is the one that really helps answer those questions about, well, if God really does exist, why does he allow these things to happen? Why do we have war? Why do we have babies that are murdered? Why do we have old people that are murdered? And why does God just allow the bad things in our life to happen? I think worldview is the one that really solidifies that for our students and lets them know that how to answer those questions whenever they face those in college, because that is a college level course again.
Fantastic. Renee, how do you think it would have affected you had you had something like the CLC during your time in high school?
Well, during my time in high school, so long ago, I was actually, I'm from California, and I came out here 4 years ago. So a lot of the stuff that I learned was evolution. So we didn't have those biblical foundations that were allowable, I guess, to learn. We didn't have that available to us. And I think had I had something like that, it would have really changed my life a lot sooner. I love Jesus, with all my heart, and I wish I would have had something so much sooner. So I think what you're doing is just absolutely wonderful.
That's a really great point you bring up there, Renee. When I do think back to high school, I either think about all the very stupid things I did, or I think about all the time I wasted that I could have been doing something for the honor of the Lord had I known that I had that opportunity. So I think that, again, to really try to drive this home for our listeners, this is phenomenal that these students have this, that they can learn that when they have the most time, the most energy. I never understood what people talked about getting old. There is never a moment in my life I'm not ready to take a nap. I have no energy anymore to do anything. But, they do. They have, energy and drive, and they have so much time available to them that they can be going out there and they can be working and they can be accomplishing things. And you all are arming them to do that. And I think the county needs to appreciate you doing that. And again, that's why we're naming you as a Good Samaritan here in Campbell County. So I really do want to drive home the appreciation we have for what you're doing there.
Thank you so much. And anytime that our community wants to come and visit the actual class to see what our students are learning and to kind of get firsthand a little bit of that youth and fresh air, they'll definitely put a smile on your face when you go and you visit them, and they're excited to see us when we come in. I'm not really sure why they're excited to see me or any of our board members, but they are. They love to see us, and I think they just love to know that there are people out there that care about them and want them to have this opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're an upcoming generation. They're going to be the ones that are teaching, our children, our grandchildren, and the great-grandchildren. We've got to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
True. Something my grandfather always says, we look at the younger generations and say that that's the church of tomorrow they were raising, but they are also the church of today. There's nothing stopping them from going to their classes and witnessing to their classmates. There's nothing stopping them from witnessing during their lunch breaks. There's nothing stopping them at whatever events they're involved in, going out there and shining a light to people and genuinely making a difference. And again, it is so important that they're getting equipped to do that properly. And furthermore, as you've both of you have mentioned, the opposition that faith has in this modern secular world we're in, that you go out into it, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and it just beats you down immediately and tries to strip that faith away from you. To be armed to handle that, to be prepared for that. I can imagine how much easier it would have made my walk with Christ had I not had to learn those lessons the hard way, if I had had someone to guide me through those things younger. So have you noticed anything of that nature with these classes as far as the influence and effect it's had on the students?
Well, I hope they're taking it back to school with them, and I hope they're sharing it with the people around them. But they've actually shared with us. We did a thankful November campaign with our students and let them share with us why they like the CLC. And they all shared that it was a good break for them in the middle of the day. Not that high school was bad or that Campbell County High School was bad, nothing like that. It was just that it was a good break to come in and know they were in a place where they were allowed to talk about Jesus and where there were other people who were sharing the same views that they were. It was where they didn't feel like all the pressure, I guess, that we feel today, no matter where we are or who we're with. And I don't think it really matters what age you are. We all experience people who don't believe, or experience maybe work environments that aren't what we wish they were. And our students feel the same way. They all have tough days. They all have people that they don't get along with. And we're just a place for them to come in and say, okay, I can take a deep breath now.
Yes.
Reprieve. Sometimes
I
it's the
know.
most valuable thing you can have.
Yes.
A little rest. So, of course, with all the amazing things you're doing, there's going to be opposition. Nothing worth having comes easy, I have found in my life. You have to earn it. And that has been very true for the CLC as well. With what you all are doing, reaching out into secular environments, getting Christ injected into those, you have to deal with legalities, and you're dealing with oppositions. How are you all tackling those, and exactly what sort of oppositions are you all facing?
Well, let me give you a little bit of a history lesson to start out. Release Time Bible Education was brought to the United States, or formed in the United States in 1914 in Gary, Indiana. So it's been around for over 100 years. In 1952 was the landmark case of Zorak v. Clausen before the Supreme Court of the United States, when the Supreme Court said, absolutely, it is legal in the United States as long as you follow 3 key principles. We have to have parental permission before the students can leave campus. It must be off school grounds, and we can receive no government funding whatsoever. So those are our 3 key principles that we drive home with our board. We drive it home with our volunteers. I come from a legal background. Another one of our board members comes from a legal background. So sometimes we're kind of the person popping the bubble in the room when we have a really exciting idea, because we do want to make sure that we stay legal. So that's the 3 ways that we do that. The first law was brought to Tennessee in 2015 with Karen and Dwayne Mills, and that allowed Release Time Bible Education in Tennessee. In 2019, just this year, is when we were allowed to receive credit for the class. They get 1/2 credit per semester that they complete. So we are completely legal at this point. To quiet some fears, we've had a few people calling out our school board here in Campbell County, telling them, how could you let this come to Campbell County, when there was a post from another organization that wanted to bring their group to Campbell County. So to quiet a little bit of those fears, I want to explain that the Campbell County School Board doesn't have the authority to say no to a religious organization that wants to come to Campbell County. What they get to do is establish a policy that says this is how we're going to do it, so we make sure that it doesn't cause chaos in the middle of our school day. So we have the 1 class period. If we want to offer it for 2 or 3 or however many, we just have to go through the school board to get it on the roster, or put it in their programs and those kind of things, and for them to be able to decide whether or not we should receive credit, all that kind of stuff. They get to establish the policy surrounding how release time is in their county. They don't get to decide whether or not we have release time. So I want to help kind of educate the public on that, as they're calling their board members maybe in a little bit of fear or panic. I don't want anyone to think that our school board just opened the door to everybody. What they did is decided on the policy for how release time would happen. And if there are other organizations that come to Campbell County, it's really not anything to be afraid of. You, as a parent, have to sign a permission form before your child can go. The school can't promote any program on school grounds, not ours, not any other religion. So there's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. The school's not going to force your child to go anywhere, and they're not going to force them to come with us. We just have to stay in our lane, and they stay in theirs, and all they can do is accommodate us. That's the word, the key word from the Zorak v. Clausen case, was that the school board and the school system accommodates Release Time Bible Education. So they're not going to promote it in any way whatsoever. They're not going to fund us. They're not going to fund any other organization, because they can't. It's not legal. So there's really absolutely nothing to be afraid of. And as to the one organization, the Satanic Children's Ministry, that everyone was worried about last week, I've got really good news for everybody. I've read the end of the Bible. We win. God wins.
Yes, amen.
Amen. Very fantastic points you bring up there. It reminds me of a discussion I had one time, politically based. A gentleman was explaining to me why so many politicians appear to be liars. Said, they make these promises and then you vote them in, and then they don't do the things they said they would. And what people don't often realize is they had every intention of keeping their promise, but then once they're in that position, there's red tape. There's legalities. There's these things that they didn't anticipate, that you as a voter didn't anticipate, that tied their hands. And it's important that you brought that up there, that's very much the case here. In Campbell County, I think we have a very simple mindset of just do this or don't do that. And that's not how it works when you're in an academic setting. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of legality. Things have to be done in very specific ways. That doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean you have to be afraid of it. It means that there is still an opportunity for people to learn about Christ. And that's the important thing, and that's what people should be taking away.
That is
from
right.
this.
That's absolutely right. If you change the law that's on the books in Tennessee, then we don't get to be here either, and our students don't have the opportunity that we're offering them.
Very fantastic points.
I thank you so much for coming out and doing this interview with us. I thought this one was just so important, to the community.
We are
With what you guys are
so
doing.
thankful that you all invited me to come, and I'm really lucky I get to be the face, but I want everybody to remember all of our board members that are a part of the Campbell County Christian Learning Center, and Stephanie Lloyd, Billy Smith, Lynn Ray, who gave so much of his time in the past. I'm real lucky I get to be the face. I get to come out and meet with all of you all and enjoy this time, but we have some extremely hard workers behind the scenes.
Well, fantastic. Again, as Renee said, we greatly appreciate what you're doing as Good Samaritan here in Campbell County. And one more time, give out, how can people reach out to you? How can they donate? How can they get involved?
They can come see me at Cox Construction. They can look on the website at campbellcountyclc.org. They can go to Facebook. Hopefully they can go to Instagram soon. They can email me at campbellclc2018@gmail.com. I didn't come up with that email address. It's really long. I'm sorry. Or they can call me at 423-912-1967. I'm happy to talk about the Christian Learning Center anytime.
Fantastic. Well, again, Ashley, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to connect to our web channel at WLAF1450.com for a sneak peek of our Good Samaritan every Friday.
Join us again next Saturday, 10:30 a.m. on Radio 1450 AM, 100.9 FM.